Hello, hello, and happy Thursday, everyone. You guys, my heart is always devastated when I come across a homeowner and they have plans for their home. They think that they have money wrapped up in their home, but unfortunately, because of lack of planning, they cannot use their home how they thought. So let me ask you this question. Would you sell your home for $10,000? All right, so I
wouldn't.
Neither would I. But I have the wonderful Samantha Gordon with McIntyre Elder Law in today, because I have seen it happen too many times where the lack of planning has caused homeowners and just people in general to not take advantage of the hard-working assets that they have built up over their lives. And so we are going to talk about the common pitfalls that you can avoid and how you can avoid them. All right, Samantha.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
And feel free to give them a rundown of your company.
Yeah.
And what you guys
Definitely.
do.
So I'm attorney Samantha Gordon with McIntyre Elder Law. We specifically practice at this firm, estate planning, estate administration, also elder law, which deals with long-term care benefits and if you ever have to be in a long-term care facility, as well as some litigation dealing with estates because money makes people weird. That's just the way it is. So, specifically here today, I think that you kind of set this up great because estate planning, individuals really think that estate planning is meant for, oh, when I'm like 70, I'll start thinking about estate planning. No. It's once you're 18, you can actually in North Carolina establish an estate plan and thinking about what do you want, what are your goals for your estate plan and how can you protect your assets because you work so hard throughout your whole life to have these assets and possibly enjoy retirement. And what happens if there's something that puts a blimp in that and how are your assets going to actually be protected? So number one, the biggest pitfall that I see is that individuals will do an estate plan maybe in their 30s or 20s when they start having children, thinking about, oh, maybe I should have something in place, right? And then they don't do anything with it for 30 years. I have so many wills that come into this office that have not been done for like 30 years. And now their kids are older, they have grandkids, the people that they've named in their documents have passed away. So is this estate plan actually effective? No. So if something happens to me, I become incompetent, I pass away, there are no documents that actually control what happens with my assets. If I am in a marriage and something were to happen to my spouse, where my spouse becomes incompetent and we need to sell our home, well, guess what? I have no legal authority to do that because I have no document that says I have legal authority to sign for my incompetent spouse.
Wow.
So if you don't update your documents and keep those up to date with the current times, like if you move, if someone passes away, if unfortunately you get divorced, if you have children, grandchildren, those documents that you thought were great 30 years ago could not be effective and it's really going to cause an issue for you now. Also, it's going to be a big burden on your family for having to figure out and navigate that, which would likely be through the court system. And that's going to be a lot more costly than just updating your estate plan.
Right.
Unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you guys even know what an estate plan is? Let's get to that.
Yeah.
What is an estate plan?
So an estate plan is a way, and estate planning is not a one-size-fits-all type of thing. That's something to remember because a lot of people think, I need a will, I need a trust. So what is estate planning? Estate planning encompasses legal documents that are going to reflect what your wishes are while you're alive, also when you pass away. So while you're alive, powers of attorney. So a general durable power of attorney and a healthcare power of attorney. A general durable power of attorney appoints someone, your agent, someone that you have chosen, that you trust to manage your financial affairs if you were to become incompetent and could not manage your own financial affairs. Otherwise, no one has legal authority to do that for you. And they actually would have to go through the courts, through a guardianship, for someone, a judge, to appoint a guardian for you. And that could be someone that maybe you didn't think would be that person that would manage your finances. And then a healthcare power of attorney. If you became incompetent, could not make your own healthcare decisions, this appoints an individual that you trust to make those healthcare decisions for you. Your health is the most important thing. So you want to appoint someone that actually knows what you want for your healthcare decisions, right? And then a will and a trust is what a lot of people always think of when they think of estate planning. But really, documents while you're alive are just as important as when you pass away. So a will dictates where your assets go and who you want to manage those assets for your heirs. Whereas a trust is a legal vehicle in which you could put assets basically into a pot. And you have someone that manages that pot for your beneficiaries rather than through a will where you just give assets to your beneficiaries. And those are really going to depend upon, you know, what your goals are, your families, and what you actually need. That's a basic estate plan. So powers of attorney as well as a will or a trust.
Yes. Okay, perfect. And so, you know, just kind of being here today, the reason why I wanted to have Samantha come in was because I have learned by, you know, helping clients how important it is to have your affairs and estate documents in place. So one guy, he was in a nursing home and he had a house that had all the equity completely paid in full, but he could not do anything with his house. And because he was behind in taxes for his house, $10,000, he could not sell his house because he was in a nursing home due to insurance and insurance regulations. So he had to let his house, unfortunately, go into foreclosure,
$10,000.
be taken over by the state. The state, of course, put it in their real estate auction and got bidded up. And someone purchased that house for well over $10,000, but he lost it because he didn't have the right paperwork in place.
Yeah. And when someone's in a facility such as a nursing home, you also want to think about when you're talking with someone about your estate plan. And what we do here is we do elder law. So your estate plan needs to work in conjunction with long-term care. Long-term care is like a skilled nursing facility. So if you have a home and that's one of your biggest assets, there are plenty of estate planning tools that can protect that home. Not only to protect what happens to that home after you pass away, but also protecting the home while you're in a nursing home, also giving someone legal authority to manage that home. So maybe in your situation, if someone had legal authority to manage that home and be able to do what he was doing for that home prior to going into that facility, this would have been avoided and there wouldn't have been this $10,000 delinquent tax. You know, there would have been a way that this could have been avoided, in addition protecting the home through some type of estate planning after he passed away, if there's any type of medical bills, things like that. So,
all right. So I know you guys are all healthy. You're visualizing yourself in your golden years, enjoying life, living it to the fullest, and everything just being all glitz and glam and rosy glasses. But this is, you know, a very serious conversation that you should have with your loved ones.
We'll go there. So approximately 70% of those over 65 are going to need long-term care. So everyone, living in your rose-colored glasses, thinking that you're working up for your retirement, building your 401k, IRA, getting the home that you always wanted, but are you actually protecting that? Are you actually going to fulfill what your dreams are with the plan that you put in place now? That's really what this is, and that, you know, how you can make sure that you're protecting your assets.
Yes. So I'm sure people, the audience, is thinking, where do I start? What's the first thing that I need to do, or the first document that I need to have in place?
Sure. So the first thing you need to do is really sit down with an attorney. We offer free consultations at McIntyre Elder Law. It's very important that anybody has the opportunity to walk into our doors and meet with one of our attorneys. They don't feel like there's any type of block with a consultation fee. Anyone, regardless of, you know, what level of income you have, assets you have, we'd love to meet with everybody and really discuss what you need. Maybe it's not a super comprehensive plan, but there are documents that everyone needs, such as powers of attorney. So the first step is really calling an attorney's office. You can call McIntyre Elder Law and have a consultation and sit down with an attorney, express what your goals are and what your assets are, what your family looks like, to understand what you need and get that advice. That's really the first step, and that's really the hardest step, because some people, as we talked about earlier, they don't think that they need an estate plan right now. So actually taking that step to move forward to talking with someone about the estate plan is really the first step. But then meeting with an, you know, individual who has that experience to actually explain that to you is very, very helpful.
So a popular saying that we have in the real estate industry is that you cannot time the market. And while we're here in the estate planning industry, you cannot time life.
We don't have a crystal ball.
We don't, and unfortunately, I'm connected to someone who actually just recently passed away and lost their life, and without having the proper plans and documents in place, who knows, you know, what will happen to the children and the assets and the wealth that he had if it wasn't handled for and accounted for properly. So that's why you guys take the time to sit down and go through this information, because it's important to you, because you didn't buy that house for you to just live in it and for it to be given to the government for $10,000. You bought that house for your children and their children and the legacy that you guys are building. But is there anything else, Samantha?
I think just touching on that, unfortunately, if you don't have an estate plan in place, what likely will happen is the courts will even get involved after you pass away. So there's a process called probate, which is not fun, can take a very long time, and it stalls things. There's notices that go out to creditors, so now creditors can come and attach claims to your estate. It's a lot for your family members after you pass away to have to handle, which is easily and can be easily avoided by having an estate plan in place. Just touching on that, and you want to make sure that not only are you setting yourself up for success, you're protecting your assets, but you're also helping your family after you pass away have a structure and a plan in place in which they can protect your legacy. That's really what estate planning is.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. Well, I want to thank you guys for joining us today. And if you do have any questions, you can feel free to DM me or DM McIntyre Elder Law. They are tagged in this live, but feel free to reach out. Let us know how we can help or any questions that we can help answer as well. But until next time, you guys continue to have a wonderful week.
Have a great day.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye.